Hi guys, I'm just doing a pop in and welcome. I'm just going to do some bits and pieces of what is on my desk. I've just got a little bit of time to spare this morning. These are some leftovers that I was doing up at the nursing home when my mum was in the nursing home. I had an old book up there I used to use and cut up that sort of stuff while I'm sitting there talking to her. I raided a pump bottle up there one day and I cut a little slit in there, and I pulled, these are what I actually bought back from the nursing home. I kept them. There was a pen that weren't working. One of the nurses was going to chuck it. I said, no, I'll use that. So I was sitting there making beads, so I confiscated her pen. So you can do these with anything. So I'm just going to chat away and do some bead rolling. So I'm just using a normal pen. I just want to get a number of beads rolled up, and I don't know what I'm going to do with them all. You can use them for journals, that sort of thing. I thought I might make a hanger, which I have done before, and hung them on the walls. I used to do this for Mum, used to roll them up and paint them, because I couldn't use nail polish, so I used to just use acrylic paint and paint them, and then set them all round hanging off Mum's TV, because they're only just light, they're made out of paper. So I hope everybody's doing well today. I'm just going to add whatever I got here. See what I got. I might add maybe that in the middle. And this was really good for her too, because I used to make them and get her to sit them in little pockets like that, little slots. As you can see, a lot of the colours are all mixed up. They're supposed to be oranges and reds and paper ones, but they're still sitting the way that Mum had put them in the container. But it was just something to occupy her mind, keep her mind going, and her hand and eye coordination. So that's really good. So I'm just going to add this in here just to give it a little bit more bulk in the middle, I guess, and make it a little bit more interesting. Not really knowing how it's going to turn out, but we just go with the flow. I was sitting here making some this morning, and I thought this was silly. Why couldn't I just pop on and do a quick video while my washing's going through? I have got a little bit of glue spots there, but I'm not too worried about that, because I'll just add to my hanger collection. I've got another thinner one, long thinner one. That might be all right. It doesn't matter what you put with paper beads. This actually took Mum back in years, like her mind would go back in years, and she'd say to me, "You cutting that fence up again?" I'd say, "No, Mum, not this time." But occasionally I'd think of taking a little bit of wire in with me, fencing wire, because I used to get in a really big trouble of cutting up wire off the fence that was loose. between Mum and Dad, I used to get in a big trouble. So that looks a little bit different. But that's one done. So this is what I was messing around with this morning. I made a lot of little tiny ones. Just messing around. I made some little bells. 3 little bells that I had made. That's not one. Well, I thought I had 3 little bells. Yep, they're the little bells I made. I thought I'd do something with those. But they're the ones that I've playing around with this morning besides that one. Just using up the scraps. I've got plenty of the scraps laying around here, so I'm just going to go with the flow. These are just a homemade one that I've done. So I'm just going to roll them up, and I used to hang Christmas decorations off them for Mum. I used to put hearts or whatever and hang off them or in between the beads. Just that it made it really more interesting for her, because she couldn't get out of bed, so she used to just lay in bed. I've got one a bit more slanty. That's that one. That one's a bit too big. It's too big. I've got 2 of these, same lengths of those, same width of those. That might be alright. It's 2 of them. I'll find another one. Made those. In the middle. Just there in the middle, and wind it around. I'm not worried about the black lines. That's all from me marking out my measurements. And it's a good way of using up scraps. When I was young, in the 60s, I used to use a lot of Dad's newspapers. I used to braid his newspapers, or used to read a lot of Western storybooks, and I used to braid those. Just want to try and get that one out a little bit even, but it's not wanting to work for me. Come on, work with me. That's better. So you just work around and with your fingers to get the right shape you want. So there's another one. Back to my lovable pen. Another one there. Oh, my nails. Oh, tore it. That's okay. It won't matter. I'll still use it. There's one good thing about this. If it's torn, you can still use it. It's not going to make a difference. So, a little small one here. And I'll show you what I mean. I'm just going to roll that one down. To there. My little piece that I tore. And I'm just going to stick it in there and then roll away. And I'll just file off the ends to make them a lot neater, because I've got a bits of glue pieces sitting there. And as you twist around, when you've got a number of sheets together, you'll get little pieces that'll flap, but that's okay because you glue that as you go. So there you go. And what I'll do when that dries, I have a file, and I'll just sand that down. I have a file, so I'll just sand that off to make it a bit flatter. See, another one there. These can be glazed with fingernail polish, which in the 60s we didn't have anything else. Well, I don't think so. I used to use paint, you know, our art paint or watercolor paints, nail polish. I'm not quite sure what was around back then, I can't think. But I do remember making these because it used to be so fun. I was a little bit on the hippie side of life, bit of a hippie girl, or flower power back in that time, because I used to make them and I'd stick, because I've always made ribbon flowers or roses out of paper, and I'd stick them around. Bread dough flowers, I used to make bread dough flowers. My grandma taught me how to do that, my mum's mum, when I was a little girl, and I used to make those and stick those around them also. And that come undone. In which some of these I might do some, I should have some sitting somewhere around here that I've made with bread dough flowers. And I should do that, come back and put make some bread dough flowers and stick around them, because that's quite pretty. Just want to glue. It's a little bit loose, and that one's a bit loose. I'm just going to try and move it off, tighten it up a little bit. It's still a wee bit loose. Okay. Rewrap that one. Back to my old faithful. I seem to be able to wrap them tighter using this than using the rollers. And don't know what happened there. My screen just went black. And once again, I'll just file that back when it dries some, just to make it a bit level, because the paper's all a little bit uneven. There's another bead done. And I'll get some little ones and make some little beads. I had a little tiny thin one here. These little beads are good to use on journals. Instead of buying beads, you make your own beads. And a good thing too, I have done, is made my beads to do my dangles from paper, from the whatever paper I'm using in my journal. So there's a little tiny one. We'll go a little bit bigger. That one's a bit wider, so I'll put that one there. As I roll it round, when I've got two, one will fall down and I'll glue it like so, and then I'll take it off and then shape it like so. Do a little small one. And I'll just paint all these with some acrylic paint. I'm just getting my shape. That little one there. I've also used straw out of my mum's broom when she goes along sweeping, and the old straw brooms, they used to break off the straws, and I used to walk along behind her and picking them up and putting them in a container. I used to get in so much trouble for collecting rubbish, but they didn't cost anything. They used to, when they used to break and wear out and come yucky from using nail polish, I used to throw them in the bin and then start all over again. I was always using recycling things, and I still do. I love recycling. It's because when you live on your own and you can't afford to be buying things, it's you just go out and use what you've got in your house. I have been gifted with some really nice stuff from a couple of ladies from in America. Has sent me some things. Miss Dina Steinhaus and her husband had bought some ink pen, felt pen things, thingy bobs, and sent me. And I'd never had anything of Tim Holtz, and she sent some, gifted me with a box of Tim Holtz ink pads. And another lady had gifted me with, Judy Perrin had gifted me with some watercolour pencils, because we were using them there one day, and I happened to said, I think I said they were nice, and she knew I lived on my own, and so she gifted me with a box of those, which was really nice. Melanie Yui had, Melody Maid had sent me different things that was really good that I could use. JJ with Joy had sent me some ephemera she made with stuff that I didn't have here, and she made some ephemera and sent me. So I have been blessed with some things that some people have sent me, which I was really blessed with. There's another one there. So you soon wear down your papers by doing this. You sort of, yeah, it's just one way of your papers disappearing. I'll go that way, I think. Make sure I got them level. I might turn that around the other way so I can see where my paper's sitting, because one's a little bit smaller than the other, not as wide, and I wanted to see how it would pan out, just so I can get my papers laying level. You can see, or try and get them even on both sides, put it that way. So put some glue on that one, and the other one will fall down, and I'll put glue on that one. So there we go there. What have I got to go inside that one? I'll use that one. Yeah. So on this one, I'm going to add, that goes over top, so I'll put it on that one. So I'll have the smaller one rolling on top. So I'm gluing that one right up flush to where I finished. My other piece of paper is, if you can see there. Put it in there. And I think I'm hoping my internet's not cutting out, but I'll soon see when I go back through it. Otherwise I will have to delete the whole video and start over again. But that doesn't matter if I start over again, because I've got plenty of scraps, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to wind this one around now, trying to keep my papers on even sides. Have I got any? Got a couple of thinner ones there, so what I might do, scissors, and I haven't got a pair of scissors handy, but that's okay. I'll just break that off there, do that one there, and then I will tear that one off there, and glue it down, and then I've got two thinner strips here, and I'm going to add them too. I'll put that one on there, hold it until it sticks, then I'm going to put the other little piece up there until it sticks, to there. No, stick, Charlie, you got to stick. So now I'm going to roll that one around, trying to keep my paper. Ooh, I like how that's turning out. Ooh, that is nice. I do like that one. So I'll add a bit of glue to there, a bit of glue to that one, and then I'll roll them around very carefully. And that one's not gluing. There you go. I do like that one, turned out quite nice. I like the shape of that one. Oh, I've got to get it off now. It's a bit hard, but anyway, we got it. Get my shape back in. My shape back in. There we go. Well, ladies, we've done quite a bit there today, bar from some of these which were done prior. But all these others, so we've done a few there today. So, okay, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. God bless and have a lovely weekend. Bye.